have you along with us today for our very, very special live stream. Lots of you excited in the chat, and a lot of you are hyped up at the moment as well. Great to see you all. It's great to see you all. I hope everyone's doing okay. Welcome along. It's time to start the future, and we're here to talk about it. And we're joined by some very, very special guests here on the stream, not only remotely, but also live from our studios in Prague in the Czech Republic. We have three special guests just below me here. We have Nimiro, our usual driver, but here for a very special drive today. Great to have you along, Nimiro. How are you doing?
Hi, Alex. Hi, everyone. I'm fine. Excited and fine.
Wonderful. We also have the CEO, glad to have you along, of SCS Software, Pavel Shabor. Pavel, it's great to see you as well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here.
Perfect. And we're also joined by a very, very special guest as well from Daf Trucks here in the Czech Republic. It's Marie as the sales manager as well. Great to have you along. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's a super exciting week for us, and I think this is also, apart from the new truck that we've launched, I think this is also a first time in Daf's history that we're part of this live stream. So thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much for coming along, and we're going to be talking to you a lot more during the stream. We're very, very excited, but we're also joined by a resident expert as well on trucks here, coming all the way from Singapore, Oscar as well. It's great to see you back. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me again. I'm always really excited to be part of any stream, especially when, a new truck comes out. It's so great to show, the hard work that we have put in, and just explore and tell people about everything that's special about it.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it's great to see all of our fans and more coming from the community from around the world. Last I checked just a minute ago, we had over 3,000 people watching across our Twitch and our YouTube. So it's great to see everybody here. Let's spam up the chats just a little bit and see where everybody is watching from. So let us know where you're watching from in this wonderful world. If you've not experienced this before, you're about to see the chat go a little bit crazy, and it's going to be hard to keep up with in just a second here, because I imagine we have a lot of people from around the world who are very, very excited to see what we're seeing on the screen right now. This beautiful new DAF truck, which we're going to be talking so much more about today, and we're so excited to start the future here on the live stream. We've got people watching from Singapore, Germany, France, Turkey, Carolina, New York. I can see people from Poland and just so many places in the world. It's great to all have you along here, everybody. And we're very, very excited to kind of bring you a first here in Euro Truck Simulator 2, as Nimiro is showing off here. And of course, we've been watching and working with DAF very, very closely for a little while. But this is the start of something new and something very, very exciting, because this has been many, many years in the work in terms of the production of this truck, and it's got so many exciting new features, and it's something that yesterday was announced by DAF. And maybe Marie, you can tell us a little bit about the launch, because we were watching very, very closely all the different teasers and such that were going up on the site, and finally the launch yesterday. It must have been quite an exciting time for everybody.
Oh, definitely. It's something we've been also for us working on for quite some time. The truck has it's been 7 years in the making. So highly anticipated by everybody. It really is something completely new. There's nothing like it out there. It's really a whole new design from scratch. So we're super excited to have shown it to the world. I must say I'm also super excited that it's, that it's all available in our virtual world, also with the Augmented app. Because due to, let's say, the times we are living in, I think many of us still haven't seen it physically yet. So this is even super exciting for me to be able to experience our truck in this virtual reality and show it to you and to our customers.
Yeah, I can see actually here on the screen right now, Nimiro taking a look through the Daf Virtual Experience here. And this is something completely new that I haven't even seen until this point here, and it's looking fantastic. Maybe you could walk us through a little bit about what it offers, the virtual experience, to people who want to visit.
Yeah, because as you can see, it's not just the new generation that we're presenting in the dome in the virtual reality world, but it's also our current ultimate model range on alternative fuel, so electric trucks, Also kind of an outside view to see our vocational range out there. You can even visit the Daf Museum. You don't need to go to Eindhoven anymore. You can visit it right here in the virtual world. So it's really showcasing everything that Daf is about.
Wonderful. And anybody can visit, is that correct?
Exactly. Everybody can visit through the webpage, startthefuture.com. Just go and click on the virtual tour. And as Namira is showing, just walk around in the different rooms, but definitely go into the dome and see the new range.
Absolutely, and it looks fantastic. It looks like a lot of work has gone into bringing this experience to life, and the way you can present things. And as you said, it's very different times right now. So having an experience like this, that's on offer for anybody to go visit, is absolutely fantastic. Not to check out that new range of trucks, but also existing ones as well. Of course, very exciting there to see the start of the future, all kind of locked behind the doors there that you can check out for yourself as well. And so if anybody does want to go visit, startthefuture.com, is that correct?
Exactly, startthefuture.com. So definitely go and check it out. Also highly recommend our Augmented Reality App. So if people can't get enough from looking around the truck, but also having a look inside, you can also do that with your app. You can actually place the truck in your backyard and with your phone walk all the way around it and walk inside it.
That's fantastic. And I guess it's just one of the perks of kind of the times that we live in, having that kind of technology available to use to us in our very own homes, that you can just kind of take that anywhere with you on the go, wherever you are in the world. And we have so many people watching from around the world. So any of these people can come and visit the virtual experience. And maybe, Oscar, I know you're watching very closely the Daf reveal yesterday. What were some of your initial thoughts when you saw the trailer running?
I mean, the trailer itself was really a standout. It's so different from what other manufacturers do, where they just they launch a product, they immediately jump into the details. I mean, we had a story. I mean, this cinematography, it was so excellent. I mean, everything, like example for this scene, I mean, there must have been so much work put into it to render the model and then have it suddenly become the real truck. I mean, it's all really awesome. And it was very informative, and of course, with all the new features that this truck brings, I think represents a new era in European trucks, and I think that's very exciting. It's the start of a new era, and then we can see what's going to come in the future as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We're seeing the trailer here on screen. If you haven't checked it out already, you can find it over at the official Daf YouTube channels as well. And it's fantastic, the whole presentation and everything that was displayed there. And maybe, Pavel, we can get your thoughts as well. I imagine you were watching quite closely as well with the announcements and the teasers and everything that was going on. And of course, being the CEO of the company, you've had quite a long relationship with all the different industries, and this is quite an exciting reveal.
Indeed. Well, I'm one of the oldest guys in the family, in the company, in the family too. And initially it was my responsibility to talk to industry partners, the job that now Oscar is handling so well. So we have had discussions with industry partners for ages. Our cooperation with Daf has been going on for so long. But it's, for me, the great moment is actually our perspective on this. We were invited to experience something unique, a close cooperation, full of secrets, of course, behind closed doors. We had access to data that we couldn't imagine having so much in advance. So this is fantastic, that seeing that Daf and the industry is accepting technology. It's not conservative anymore. They are on the forefront of VR, AR. All of that is now becoming a part of this slumbering big industry. It's not suddenly right at the edge of the future. And being invited to this as SCS Software, that's fantastic. That's a really feeling like rewarding for all the work that we have been through, that we are taking so seriously, and we may be a part of this. That's a great day for us.
100%. It is very, very exciting. Like you said, it's been such a long relationship already, and to continue it forward with this kind of new generation is incredibly exciting indeed. And of course, within what we're looking at here, again, the virtual experience, with lots to see, we've also got our own little feature in there, I believe, as well. Is that correct, Namiro?
Yes, and I think that it's actually for now featured here as a some kind of
Yeah.
teaser video. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe we can take a look at this. If you hadn't seen this already, folks, you're in for a treat here. This little teaser video. Some of you spotted it over around of our community, and it was very exciting to see who kind of picked up in it and who saw it. And so I know some of you got to check it out a little bit earlier, seeing this brand new truck reveal on the roads of Euro Truck Simulator 2 already, and lots of you getting excited, and we're definitely going to be getting into more detail very, very shortly. So, but again, definitely check out this virtual experience if you're interested. It's definitely worth a check out, and the walk around to check out all the different bits as well. But maybe as we've taken kind of a little bit of a look at the truck, maybe we can get back into the game and take a look at the truck for ourselves. Now I think it's time. The chat is hyped. Lots of people are very, very excited, and we would love to talk more about the new reveal of the XG and XG Plus from Daf. Here it is in our garage, looking fantastic indeed. So sleek, so modern, and I imagine just packed to the brim with technology and just fine details from feedback from drivers and obviously the many generations that Daf have been working on trucks. Maybe you could walk us a little bit through it if you wouldn't mind, Marie.
Oh gosh, yeah. Here you see the new flagship truck, the XF Plus. Like we said, nothing like it out there in terms of its size, the efficiency, spaciousness, all the safety features. If you just look at the sheer windscreen size, I mean, it's in comparison to our existing Ultimate range, it's up to 33%. So as we already saw a little bit in your sneak preview, you just that's if you can see for the driver, the low belt lines, how far you can look. Here we're also featuring the Daf digital systems and the Daf corner eye. So I'll be very excited to see once we start driving how that looks. Also in the side windows, the low belt lights, again, really improving the view. I believe that, let's say, for the future, because we are starting with the XG and XG Plus, but also with the XF, the curb view windows in the future, also providing people to see, actually right through the door to see what's right next to the truck. The huge spacious cab, a lot of flat surfaces. Here you see the seating area, so really the working area for the truck driver. You see already kind of in the middle the Daf infotainment system. If we go and on the wheel, as you can see, really for the driver, the motto is eyes on the road, hands on the wheel. So everything is within hand reach.
It looks so spacious, like the sides, the visibility from the right side of the, from the left side of the driver. It's so spacious and big.
It's I know that in cubic meters, it's 12.5 cubic meters. So.
Wow.
Let's say the what we've seen yesterday during the launch, full-grown Dutchmen, and they're, Dutchmen aren't small, standing up easily and with all this space around them. So, yeah, super excited to see all the space.
Actually, for me, it's actually for the first time that I'm like virtually sitting in a cabin that has like digital cameras instead of classic mirrors, and it really provides so much of more of a visibility from the cabin, because there is no mirror that would be like a place in your like field of view. That's so cool.
And also the lean A pillars, because the A pillars have also been redesigned. So yeah, really optimizing all that room for those mirrors and for that direct view.
Absolutely, and I know that aerodynamics has been thought about in mind as well when creating the truck, but it's the first time actually we're seeing these new digital rear view mirrors within Euro Truck Simulator 2 for us, but also they're quite new to the industry as well, and it's very, very exciting to see how they're being put into these truck cabs now, and just for the safety and the comfort of the driver, offering those kind of wide angle views, so when they're taking the turns, they don't have as much as a blind corner anymore. And I imagine that makes us the biggest difference when driving. Yeah,
definitely. Also, what we saw on the other side, the corner eye view, really completely taking out the blind angle. So showing there on top.
Amazing. That's actually this one. No, this one, right? when you can.
The corner eye.
The corner,
Yeah.
it's a little
No,
bit below.
it's
It's
the
a bit
one,
below.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, you
windscreen.
can actually in the game. You can actually
on the
put it
on the
there.
lower
Or,
Yeah.
lower part of it.
Look at that. That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
there we are.
so
Yeah,
cool.
that's it.
That is fantastic. So you have multiple camera angles there.
But this, I can see like just the whole tapered design. The truck has up to 16 centimeters more space up front, down in the back another 30 centimeters. The tapered design, so it's a bit, let's say, narrower at the front going towards the end for optimal aerodynamics. You can really see that how it already starts curving really kind of right above the D from Daf. So the whole, let's say, shape really optimizing airflow, not just around the truck, but also over, under, and through the truck.
No, it looks really, really great. And maybe, Pavel, we can get your kind of like initial thoughts on taking a look at the truck right here, right now. Obviously, Euro Truck Simulator 2 coming out in 2012, we've seen quite a range of technologies and changes over time in the truck industry, but this is a first seeing this sort of technology in the game with the without the mirrors and such, and having the cameras implemented. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something you're excited to see more of in the future?
It's great that we are managing to keep up to some extent with what's happening in the industry. We're not able to do everything and have everything on time. This time we really managed to even beat the reality to some extent. I think our work on the models is improving over the years. We can see that the precision and the fidelity of the vehicle is great recently. It's, of course, the large part of it is this great cooperation with Daf in this case, who provided us very kindly with access to some kit data, so that it's like sub-millimeter precision, I could claim. Everything fits together. We don't have to painstakingly photograph somewhere vehicles on a gas stations. We can now directly talk to the manufacturer and get access to this. So the quality of our modeling, I think, is state of the art, and it's great that we can keep with the quality of the product itself, that we can represent it faithfully as much as is within the powers of our own technology. So I'm really excited to see this. I'm really excited to see that the engine, that the technology can easily work with the mirrors in digital form, that we managed to have a digital cluster, digital display used in place of standard dials. All that was kind of ready in the technologies, and we can put it to good use now with this great vehicle. So it's a great time to be here, and it's a great milestone for our game and for the universe of Euro Truck Simulator 2. It's another step. There'll be more steps hopefully, but it's another important step for us as we are maturing into like a platform that's more than a game. It's way more, for many people, it's way more than just a game anymore. It's a platform for motivational, educational driving for some people. Even I could even claim a training tool in some cases. And so having access to the latest and greatest is fabulous for the players out there. Great time.
Absolutely. It's so exciting to see here in game as Nimiro jumps into the cab and drives a little bit. We're taking a look at that dashboard, which is just almost looks like it's out of this world, almost like from a spaceship, right? I mean, it's so fresh and so new looking. And Oscar, I know you played quite a large part in the dashboard and design and working with Daf to kind of get the right look for it. Maybe you could walk us through it a little bit as well, what we're seeing on the screen here.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't take all credit for it. I first would like to thank, obviously, Daf for providing us, all the references, and then, we had direct contact with their design team to get all the graphics on the screen correct.
Just give me a few moments. I need to set my keys to be able to walk through the dashboard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah, so I guess this is the the futuristic design. You can see that the tachometer is going straight, and then it angles up, and then on the other side you have the speedometer doing that, and of course above that you have the main speed readout. And Obviously, that really helps to tell the driver immediately at a glance, what speed they're going at. And then, there's also, other information like cruise control on the top, the tolerance when you're going downhill. And, just for the purpose of our game, on the right side, we have like trip distance there.
Mhm.
And then I think, Nemiro, could you scroll through the different screens as well, possible? So this is like the main page of this display, and then you also have more information like trip duration. You get air pressure information as well, coolant temperature obviously, and yeah, this is more trip information.
Mhm.
This is just a beautiful graphic about the suit filter. It doesn't actually do anything, but it's pretty. It's it's quite realistic. Yeah. So basically, this is the new driver information panel. Actually, if you zoom in again, sorry, Nemuro, if you zoom in again and you see I think this is new to this truck. So what's next to the clock is actually the estimated time
Yeah.
that it takes to your set
Wow.
destination.
Okay.
And if you turn on the fatigue simulation in the game, where you have driving hours, it will actually show up on the left of the clock as well. So I think Nemiro, you probably have to.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
I
right.
did.
It's right there.
There you
So
go.
that's like the driving hours. So I think that's also a first for the game. So that's quite exciting and interesting as well.
Definitely, absolutely.
So, mhm.
I can see in the chat lots of people saying how cool that is, how much they like that feature a lot, and seeing that information on the dashboard, which is incredibly important when you come to think of it for the driver, not just in real life, but also virtually as well within Euro Truck Simulator 2. And I imagine these are all kind of little things that kind of add up and count up when it came to the creation of these new models of DAF. And I imagine, Marie, you probably DAF would have got a lot of feedback from drivers when producing and thinking about the design in mind of the interior and everything such.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that really this truck, what we can say, has been designed by drivers and our customers and their direct feedback. So really, all the features that you will see, everything bearing in mind, does it add value for the driver? Does it add value to the experience? Does it make, let's say, does it improve safety? Does it improve the comfort? So really also, using common sense, or what do we add, what don't we add? But definitely this has all been feedback from our drivers.
And it really shows that it's just those fine little details that we're seeing here in the truck as we continue to drive it and look at it more closer in detail. That really shows. And I think it's something that our players, but also real life drivers, are also going to very, very much enjoy to see and to look at and to use. And I think it's fantastic to see. And maybe I just want to go back a little bit. Oscar, you also played a part as well in the relations and talks with DAF as well in getting this truck into our game. Could you maybe give us like a little brief overview of maybe how that all began?
Right. So I think it was October of last year where DAF approached us and said they had a really special project that they thought we would be interested in, and of course, after some discussions, it turned out to be this entirely new generation of truck that no one really heard of. Usually you hear some rumors here and there of other manufacturers. They might be refreshing a truck range or something, but I think this DAF, this new generation of DAF, really for us came out of nowhere, and I think we are so grateful at the opportunity that came from there. And from then on, October. So we jumped right at the opportunity to do this, and then after many months of working closely with them, like Pavel said, they provided us with a lot of references like CAD data, and also direct contact with their design departments. So they gave us so many different references to work with. Usually it's very difficult for us, especially in COVID times. You could imagine how difficult it would be to probably fly someone over to Eindhoven and get the necessary materials we need to work on. But I think this time round, our our cooperation was so perfect that it made it so much easier. Like, for example, I can share with you that for the digital dashboard that you see, we actually have the source, the Photoshop source files that they provided to us, so we could get all the graphics exactly right. And then for the interior materials, usually what we do in the past was to photograph a real truck, and obviously that wasn't really available when they had different prototypes, probably with different textures as well. But I think what was really surprising to us, and we are really grateful again, was that they decided to send us what we call it, material swatches. So basically samples.
Okay.
So for example, like the texture on the seats, the leather texture on the seats, we got physical samples that they sent us. And yeah, so basically things like the seat, the mattress texture, I think the floor carpets, the door texture, things like that, all of them, we got different samples, physical samples for it. So that definitely made everything so much easier. And also for the exterior, like this Tuscan yellow launch color that they have, they also sent us a physical sample, like basically I think a metal plate
Wow.
that they sprayed with this color. So we had the perfect references for this. So I think it's really, really cool and makes our job a little bit easier to get this into the game.
I can imagine so, and a massive thank you to all of the team at DAF who are behind the communications and the production of this and helping us get this into the game. I imagine there was quite a few people who were involved, so again a massive thank you to everyone who has been involved in helping us and launching this into Euro Truck Simulator 2. It's a very, very exciting thing to see, and there's such a great response in the chat from our community. Lots of people saying how much they love some of the features and technologies that they're seeing in the cab. And for anyone that maybe who's just tuning in and just seeing this for the first time, maybe Marie, you could maybe give a quick brief overview of just some of the main features and kind of things that stand out that our players can expect to see in this new DAF XG and XG Plus.
Well, if we start from the outside, really what I said here, the taper design of the truck, so really kind of already the curved base, the curved windscreen, the lean tailored A-pillar design. Of course, also what stands out immediately is the Daf digital camera system from the outside, the wonderful headlighting. I really, especially on this flagship, I really love the headlights, the full LED lights from the front. Also, as you can see, it's kind of as they say, kind of an envelope shape from the front, really to optimize the airflow. The wonderful lining also on the side. Maybe also good to zoom in on the wheelbase, because really, if we can, because really kind of how the wheelbase have all been really closed down. Also the rounded wheelbase at the bottom, really kind of from Formula One design to optimize the airflow. So that's from the.
And these are actually the aerodynamic parts, right?
Yes.
The black.
Yeah. So the additional.
I'm
let's say
pointing here on the
bits,
display,
yeah.
but the camera cannot see how I'm pointing on the monitor. But I think that you can see
Yeah.
you can see the.
I think they're like deflector extensions on the back of the cab. Like you can see below the extra piece below the what do you call it? The air fender maybe. And then I think on the side skirts you'll also see those extenders. I think those probably close up the gaps that will usually cause air to kind of rush beneath the trailer, which wouldn't be great. And I think another product highlight I saw in the launch video was also the the front under bumper kind of protection. I think it's also protection as well as just smoothing the airflow again to minimize drag.
Yeah, absolutely. The aero plate, that is, let's say, it's probably going to be tough to crawl underneath it, but yeah, definitely, like I said, because not just to optimize the flow around the truck or over, but really even under and throughout. So also the positioning of the airflow, it's like I said, it's been redesigned really from scratch.
And it looks fantastic, and it's so great to see in the game as well. I'm not sure if this is your first. I can't imagine it is your first time seeing, the truck in Euro Truck Simulator 2. But what were your first kind of initial thoughts when you did see it to begin to take shape within our game here?
Well, for me, I must say, you said, let's say for your fan base, but I think this should be mandatory for our driver trainers, really, because it looks absolutely amazing. And like I said, also for me, because sadly, with the current restrictions, I haven't been able to see it physically yet. It will be, let's say, for example, here for us in the Czech Republic, arriving in a few months' time. So this really gives you a great feel for the vehicle. And when we had our launch, we did we have had a live stream with colleagues in Eindhoven showing the truck, and it really, I'm absolutely amazed that it's exactly what I've seen, on the, let's say, live being videoed by our colleagues. So I'm really impressed with what it looks like, and it gives everybody a fantastic opportunity to already experience the truck before it has even, shown up physically. So for everybody to get a, already a first-hand experience. So if this is already that good, I, can't wait for it to literally show up on our doorstep.
I can imagine. I imagine it'll be a very exciting day as well. And of course, this is also a first for us, being the first next day launch in Euro Truck Simulator 2, which is just amazing as it is to have that sort of opportunity for Euro Truck Simulator 2 and to work so closely with Daf is just so exciting, and lots of people so excited to see it in the chat as well. Lots of people can't wait to drive it, can't wait to get behind the wheel for themselves, for sure. And it was great to hear that you mentioned a little bit about how realistic it looks, and that obviously goes to the massive credit to the team here at SCS Software as well. And Pavel, I know you love to kind of work very closely still with a lot of the members of SCS Software, including the designers and the 3D graphics artists and all of the company, really. And I imagine that you kind of kept a close eye on how this was taking shape when it was being produced for the game.
Well, I wasn't actually that close to development. I definitely appreciate the hard work of the vehicle team. We were working under super tight deadline. We learned of the existence of the vehicle only a short while ago. Essentially, we always claimed that building a new vehicle takes over a year for a small team. Here we had to crunch it into a shorter period. We had been working with something that we couldn't see with our eyes. We just had to rely on references. There was no way to cross-check. So there must have been a lot of communication back and forth, fine-tuning the details, as the kind people at Daf would be checking on our progress and commenting on something that we had no way of seeing. So this was a very complicated process. Totally hats off for the vehicle team for pulling this magic. And of course, it's not just the artists; it's also the people putting the building blocks together, assembling from the dashboard to the big building block system. That's actually a modern truck. That you have these variants. Different things to attach, different elements to configure. So all that had to happen under a very tight deadline, in total secrecy, and through the COVID time. So multiple complications that the team managed to overcome, and it's exciting to be here at this time. Of course, we had to take some shortcuts. Let's say the new line is actually 3 vehicles: XF, XG, and XG Plus. We focused here on the flagships, on the bigger vehicles. They are actually unique in so many ways compared to the existing European regulations. They are extended. So this is bringing an extra point of excitement. But we had to, for a time, limit whatever we can build within the time. So the XF is only coming later this year. But we think we already got, the first additions to the game already make so much difference, and we'll catch up over time. So the process was complicated. I only watched it from a distance. Also the complications with the team. We cannot meet in the meeting room as usual here in the office. It was all Discord. It was all emails. It was all various forms of communications. So it's different, but we managed to pull it off. And that's great to see. It's great to witness that the company can still make miracles. And I was even surprised that we made it, because I had some doubts initially. It was very tall order. It was very difficult task to commit to this. And there was, we wanted to make it on the day of announcement, or maybe the day after announcement. Yesterday we gave room to Daf to make the announcement themselves. We didn't want to interfere, but it's the date was set. We couldn't move it. We couldn't negotiate it. We had to make it. So it's great that the team really managed to pull this off.
Yeah, and I mean, the results are fantastic as we're looking for them here. And honestly, again, massive props to everybody who was involved in the creation and meeting those deadlines. I can't imagine it was easy at all. I imagine it definitely came with its challenges, as you were saying. And we're seeing it here. We're kind of reaping the rewards here, looking at these camera mirrors as well, which is really exciting to see the wide angle and the corner eye mirror view there as well. And it just offers kind of like a new perspective for drivers. Nemiro, how are you feeling driving it right now? It must be quite a bit different not seeing your usual traditional mirrors there on the side, right?
It's amazing. It's completely new. The dashboard is completely new, and the cameras, and I feel like it's so spacious. The cabin, you can see pretty much everything, because there are no mirrors like messing with your field of view. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really something new for our game.
I'm wondering, in actual reality, I believe the mirrors at night or bad visibility conditions, there is some digital post-processing of the camera feed, so the mirrors doing some night magic. I wonder how close we managed to get to this in the game. I haven't seen the truck at night yet, so for me this is new.
You'll see it later, I think.
The good news is, I can make these promises, but they are sort of vague. We are working on a new generation of the engine graphics technology. Last year we introduced DirectX 11. DirectX 12 is on the way, and with it we would have access finally to compute, this buzzword in 3D graphics. And with compute we may consider enhancing some of the filters, or enhancing some of the post-process, some of the steps when rendering the ultimate scene, the picture. So if we have some, if we are not catching up to the reality here with the mirrors at night, chances are that the programmers will figure out how to make it even closer to the reality. Because from what I've seen yesterday in the presentation, that the mirrors can do so many things for the driver. They can be like a safety measure when you are sleeping somewhere at a truck stop, and you have the curtains around you, but still through the mirrors you can actually see the outside. So there's so many steps that maybe the players of our games cannot yet appreciate, or cannot really fully use in the context of the gameplay. But this is opening up new ideas, new opportunities even for us into the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about it that way. Just those kind of new solutions that it can offer to the drivers and to players as well, which is really, really exciting to see. And again, going back to that, kind of thinking about those kind of little finer details to keep the driver comfortable and happy while they're on the road. They work so hard day in, day out, and all these little amenities and technologies and stuff that are being implemented into these new models is really fantastic to see how they're really putting the driver in mind, and their safety and their comfort most importantly as well, while they're out on the roads working hard every day. And that's also very evident, as Nemiro was saying, of how spacious the truck is. I'm not sure if we did get a bit of a view of what the interior looks like behind us. Maybe, Nemiro, I don't know if you're about to pull over or just slow down for just a second to kind of take a look behind. But I believe it's quite a large space.
Let me pull over here.
Yeah, it's really, the bed itself is really as wide as it would be at home. It's about 80 centimeters. It's even a bit longer than at home. So some people are afraid their husbands might not be coming back anymore. But so it's super spacious, really comfortable. In real life, our luxury bed can also move up, so you can move the feet and the back end, so that you can lay down or sit up comfortably. As you saw on the back panel, where you can operate the lights, the sound, and also, as mentioned, kind of the safety system. So let's say by a push of the button, you can kind of use the cameras on a surveillance mode, so to check if everything is safe without needing to open the blinds or the doors. It's used, the double tray underneath the bed can be Can be a
fridge
tray and
in
a fridge.
it,
Yeah, can also
yeah.
be a double fridge.
Fantastic. It really, really offers so many cool
Yeah.
solutions and storage spaces for the drivers when they're on the road, and comfort as well. That bed does look very comfortable. It looks more comfortable than my bed here at home, I gotta say. Might have to swap it
comfy.
out, maybe.
Yeah.
Swap it out.
But also, as you can see, just in the driving area, just space, you know, for the
Yeah.
feet. Let's say for the driver, really, you know, next level. There's also way more room to really position the seating to the ideal setting for the driver. Really, like as you would in a luxury car. Also, in real life, the steering wheel adjustment, so it can basically go from a horizontal to a vertical position, just as the driver wants.
Yeah, it actually really like looks and feel like everything needed is right next to you, but it's not overcomplicated and it's still spacious. It looks amazing.
Yeah, again, with the feedback from our drivers, you know, placing everywhere, all the features, the technologies there where it makes sense, and also for the driver to be able to keep their eyes on the road, not to be too distracted.
Oh, it looks really, really great, and I'm just loving looking at this view. Honestly, it's just such a fresh view to look at with all the technology there, and it looks great. And I know it's something that our community has been very, very excited about. Myself, and I know Nimura as well, has had the pleasure of kind of teasing a little bit on our social medias when we started putting out the hashtag, which is the Start the Future hashtag, and lots of people are excited to get ready to start the future. And really, when we started, you know, putting out all those little teasers and stuff, the hype was really real, and a lot of people got the guesses pretty quickly, didn't they, Nimiro?
Yeah, I mean, we tried to like reflect some of the images that, you know, other truck or like real truck spotters captured of the Daf truck under the camouflage wrap. We tried to reflect that in a special like quickly made paint job for our game. But as you mentioned, pretty much a lot of people immediately recognized what's going on and what's going to happen soon.
It was kind of inevitable, but I'm glad to see the community got so excited about it, and for everybody who kind of was involved in that on our social media, thank you so much. It was great to see how excited you were for it, and we love bringing you those kind of teasers and finally bringing it to you here today. And maybe I want to turn this conversation over to the chat if you're listening. I know a lot of you are in here right now. But we've taken a look a little bit closer at the truck, the features that it offers, the technology that it has, its aerodynamic designs, and so much more. Maybe you can let us know in the chat, what's one of your favorite features so far of seeing this new DAF XG and XG Plus in the game? What are you most looking forward to kind of working with as you're on the roads in Euro Truck Simulator 2? Let's take a look at the chat here, because I know a lot of you are chatting in there right now. We got people talking about oh my goodness, the camera mirrors, the dashboards, mirrors. Because obviously, I know that the cameras are going to be very, very exciting, because it's the first time we've had it in a truck for Euro Truck Simulator 2. So I know that's going to be a very, very popular feature there. The interior, the gauge cluster is my favorite part. The steering wheel. It is a very, very nice looking steering wheel, very, very modern.
Somebody saying the whole truck. Well, I fully agree.
The whole truck? Great answer. Great answer. It's a fantastic
That's always the good answer, right?
Always a good answer.
I think, you know, the people out there are getting like first-class treatment, because they will be the first to actually experience the vehicle. Unlike real drivers, they will have to wait for a bit. So for the players, I can imagine that having access to the latest and greatest is exciting on its own. It's a great opportunity to have some unique experience that you cannot have anywhere else. So that's exciting, not just for us creators, maybe not just for DAF as having us a part of like their marketing in a way, or their PR, or how to put it, but also especially for the player base. You know, having so many nice toys and having a new toy is always welcome. It's always great.
It really, really is. And yeah, lots of people still saying in the chat how much they're excited to get behind the wheel. And we can't wait for you to get behind the wheel as well, chat, because I know you're going to really, really love the drive. Nimiro being one of the first ones to drive it on our stream, so he kind of gets the glory for today, which is nice. I imagine it feels pretty good, Nimiro.
Yeah, it feels really, really amazing, but it's also a lot of pressure. I'm trying to do my best not to scratch it anywhere, you know.
Not too bad. And Or maybe after the stream, I'm not sure during the stream, of course, but maybe if you wanted to have a drive of it as well, you could probably take a drive after the stream as well, because I imagine you'd like to kind of have a feel of how the truck feels in game, unless you've already had a chance. Did you have a little drive beforehand, or?
No, well, not yet. I'm definitely going to have a go afterwards. And I have a driver at home, so he is very excited to get behind this wheel. Yeah.
Wow, okay. Yeah, and have you ever had an opportunity to drive a truck for yourself, or have you just kind of stuck to your sales management job in Daf Trucks?
No, I have driven, but I don't have a CDL, so it's always been on the, let's say, the safety of a test track.
Right.
But yeah, no, definitely have driven. So definitely looking forward to also experience this beauty.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're so excited to have you here as well. Thank you again for coming along. And maybe we could just talk about, because I saw quite a few people in the chat kind of asking about what really your main responsibilities are working for Daf Trucks. So maybe you could just talk a little bit about what you kind of do on a day-to-day basis, if you wouldn't mind sharing with the chat here that are all watching.
Yeah, definitely. No, as a sales manager for the Czech Republic, I'm really kind of the linking pin between our dealer network and the Daf organization in the Netherlands. So really, making sure that our customers receive the care they want, and obviously we try to surpass also the expectations. And I definitely think that with this vehicle we are surpassing some expectations. So yeah, really kind of looking after our customers here in the Czech Republic, looking after our dealer network, and trying to sell as many trucks as we can. And I'm definitely looking forward to selling these. It's going to be...
Yeah, I think it's going to be very, very exciting for everybody that's able to come by your dealership. And like you said, you'll be receiving a delivery of them in the future, and you'll get to kind of take a look around for yourself and see it in person. And from what I can see from the trailer videos, it's quite a large truck as well, like in terms of size as well. It's quite big when I've seen people standing next to it, so really showing how spacious and large it is as well. And I can't wait to see one out for myself as well in the future. I don't know when that will be, but hopefully we'll get to see it at some point later in the future as well for myself with my own eyes, because it's always weird when you have that kind of transformation of going from the virtual into the reality one, and you realize how close they are in terms of detail and the perspective and everything of that sort. It's very, very exciting indeed.
Yeah, again, like I said, I'm really impressed by how it's basically the same as I've seen from let's say the live streams from our colleagues in Eindhoven. So I'm really impressed by the quality of the simulation. It's superb. And that under, in a few months' time, that's very impressive.
Now we need to update the motion platform that we have for people to be able to experience it whenever we manage to get it out. We need to update the virtual reality version of Eurotruck 2, because I think the impression from VR really being in the cab would be, even more realistic, even more the feeling being in there. I'm always amazed seeing things in VR. It's still like fresh for me seeing this dream technology in practice. So all that will ultimately be updated very soon. Be updated with the latest release that's happening soon. Hopefully, we'll see. And for me, it's always like a day in the candy shop. Every time these great things happen, I feel so good about sending this great message to the community that we care, that we want to push forward, that we are not just sitting there on our laurels, and we try hard to bring new exciting stuff. So I think we managed, and here we are.
I think we did. Lots of people were excited for sure in our chat. We've seen that hype so much around our community, and when I started seeing the first images of it, it was kind of exploding all over social media and our forums and in multiple other places in the community as well. And of course here with so many people watching, I think we even went up to over 7,000 people a little bit earlier as well watching in during the stream. So thank you everybody so much who've tuned in so far and checking out this brand new released truck from Daf with us, the XG and XG Plus, which was released just yesterday, premiered just yesterday, which is really, really exciting, and to bring it so next day to you here in Eurotruck Simulator 2. And Oscar, again, you're someone that works closely with this truck and the whole process of it as well. And kind of, I want to get your kind of initial thoughts of seeing it in this state here right now as we've got it here.
I'm so happy to see it in the game, especially happy to, have everyone experience what I've already seen for like 6 months and have been, working with the vehicles team, putting it piece by piece together. Like going back to that was a very, very challenging task for us. Like Pavel said, usually our timeline for getting a truck in the game is about a year. We had maybe the best of 5 months to make this happen. And like I said, without all the help and references we got, actually we have over like 80 gigabytes of data
Really?
just from
80
DAF.
gigabytes? Wow.
Yeah, 80 gigabytes from DAF. And yeah, that has definitely helped. And really excited to see what people say about this truck, to see, the people enjoying it basically, especially the digital mirrors. I mean, it's new to the game, so it's definitely something very exciting for us to have available to everyone. And yeah, just a side point, the digital mirrors that we have in the game have exposure correction as well, so it will work quite well at night, actually better than the regular mirrors in the game. Yep.
Very excited to see that. Hopefully we'll get some night driving action then a little bit later on in the stream. I can see what's the time in the game now? It's about 3:48 p.m. in the game, so maybe we'll get there in the evening, just a little bit later, to see those in action, which I'm sure lots of people will love to see who are tuned in so far. And of course, the XG and XG Plus is so important to us because it has a lot of firsts for us. For the first time, fully digital dashboard. I believe I'm correct in saying that.
Yep.
Support for a lot of items. The first time to have the camera mirrors in the game. As you mentioned, the exposure correction on those as well. And it's the first next day launch for us in Euro Truck Simulator 2. And who knows, maybe in the future what other possibilities may come with Packard Group as a whole as well, which is very exciting to think about. And I've seen quite a few questions in the chat for Oscar as well. I'm not sure if you're picking up Oscar on Twitch.
No, I'm not seeing the chat at all.
A lot of people are asking specifically about the dashboard as well, because people know that you've worked a lot with dashboards and such, and asking, was it just you that was involved with it, or did you work with other people as well? Or maybe you could explain a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, the initial design, like the initial version of it, was done by me, but as I'm not a very experienced, I'm not a 3D vehicle artist. I'm not officially in that team. So, what I do as a hobby. And when you do something as a hobby, you create mods, things like that. You usually don't really optimize them. So, since we've got, exact references sent to us by DAF, so those were like huge files, and we had to go through quite some optimization to get it to work perfectly in the game. So we have another colleague, Simon, who really did most of the work. Really, I did most of the designing, and then he basically redid the whole thing just to make it more optimized. I think a lot of the community might know who Simon is. 50 Kita is the one who redid the original DAF that we have in the game. So I think he's very passionate about DAF trucks. And so what you see on the dashboard here, it's a combination of both our work, and I think it should be well optimized now compared to the version that I had in the game originally, which used textures that were like 2K by 2K.
It looks great, honestly. It does look great, and obviously the design team as well behind DAF, who created that dashboard as well, it looks fantastic. Again, it's just so clear to read, and the information that you need right there on the screen, and very exciting to kind of have those features in our game as well. And I personally love it. I'm not sure about everybody else right here now in the stream, but I love kind of like technology and digital stuff, so to see this stuff coming to the trucking industry is very exciting indeed, as opposed to the more traditional kind of analog and physical things that we see within a truck cab. It's quite an exciting step into the future, don't we think?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it's not just let's say we're seeing here one of the themes. There are 2 themes, and the drivers in real life can adjust the display, let's say, according to their liking. So it really offers drivers to kind of tailor the information that they want to receive while they're driving to their needs.
Unfortunately, we are just kind of
we
scratching the
only
surface,
have
right? Because
one design here, which is I guess the most modern version here. I think basically this whole dashboard was a real challenge for us because we don't really support non-circular kind of animations. So what you see on the dashboard now on the bottom, you'll see that there is a part of it that's basically horizontal, and then afterwards it curves up and then goes in a straight line. That was a real challenge to implement, and yeah, so I think we chose this design because it's the main one that's being marketed.
Yeah.
Also, it's the most futuristic one. The other one looks more like a traditional gauge, and I'm sure some drivers would prefer that as well. So yeah, this is all new. This is just something very different for everyone to enjoy.
for us, we can only do so much. I imagine for the actual dashboard, there were multiple engineers working for years on getting everything working perfectly. With our emulation of the dashboard, no matter which vehicle, we only support or pretend to support a limited feature set of the actual vehicle. We don't go into all the details of all the dashboard functionality. But I think the approximation, the simplification works very well here. It's well representative of the actual driving experience.
Yeah, definitely.
But as I said, it's just scratching the surface in a way, and we could do always more than we managed to pull off. But then we would also have to have like a dozen of engineers just dedicated to the one single vehicle to model, to simulate all the intricacies, all the details, all the fantastic features. So people should consider the game an inspiration or a taste of the reality. But of course, driving the actual vehicle ultimately will be way more complex things. And I don't have a driving license myself, of course, for trucks. I only experienced it a few times too in a controlled environment on a test track. But I would be excited to drive that for sure, just for the heck of it.
I hope the opportunity arises one day that maybe you can get behind the wheel for ourselves, for sure. And in fact, I'm not sure if Namiro, if we have a moment just to jump back into the garage, as we've had quite a few people in the chat asking if they could just take a look at the options again for the customizations of the two models here.
Okay.
If we're able to do that, just because we got some newcomers who weren't with us at the start of the stream. If you wouldn't mind, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we haven't shown the XG as well. So
yeah, so it'll be a good opportunity
to yeah.
Feel free
So
to
like
navigate me.
One, then.
Go for it. I mean, Oscar, I think maybe you're the best person for this. If you want to walk through this, or I don't mind.
Well, so this is like basically the XG plus. That's the one, that's the headlining one, and then there's also the XG. Maybe you can change the cabin. So this is the XG. It's a bit lower, I believe, but the length of the cab it's basically the same. So like what they said, it's 16 centimeters more in the front, and I think actually 33 centimeters longer in the back. So this has a slightly lower roof, but I think it's still massive. Really.
Yeah, when you say slightly lower, it's still over 2 meters in standing space. So it's
Wow.
It's big.
Yeah.
Impressive.
It's huge. And we talked a lot about like the digital mirrors, but also in the game we have the traditional mirrors. As it is also offered by Daf. So if people wanted a more traditional kind of design, I guess they can go for this. But I think what's interesting to me personally is that for the interior, the digital dashboard, as far as I know, is the only option. So really, pushing everyone towards the future. So there isn't an analog gauges version. And yes, so here we are in the interior. There are 2 trim levels, I think, per cab. Yeah. So you have one which is basically with aluminum accents around the cab. You can look at the door seal, door as well, the door cards. I think you have aluminum accents on there. And then if you look up, it's wood and aluminium. So the other one is wood. So if you look up towards the central locker, central overhead locker, so that piece also changes when you change the trim level. And then I think the curtains might be different. Am I maybe I'm wrong, but the seats are also different, I believe, between the two trims. Yeah, so you have one which is in leather and then the other one in fabric. And also, I think for the steering wheel, we have three versions actually. I think we have the basic version, which is likely plastic, and then we have the black leather, and then we have the oak leather as well.
There you go, really kind of customize it to your liking there on the interior for sure. Lots of options for everybody to enjoy there. And of course, you can add your accessories as well if you so wish to do so. You know how everyone kind of likes to put little things in their trucks that kind of make it feel like home, which I know is very important to drivers when they're out and about. You know, their truck cabinet is their second home per se. So you know, making it as comfortable as possible with all the items that they need for while they're on the road as well.
I think we probably need to support using both cup holders.
It might be handy as well. Get a couple of bottles in there as well. So, and then on the terms of the exterior as well, was there? Did we go through all the options on the exterior as well?
No, I think we can look at the options on the exterior. Maybe we can go choose one, Emiro. Yeah, maybe that works. So there are two options for the rear deflectors. You have the standard one without the the black rubber extension, and then you have the one with arrow extensions, and then if you look at the side skirts, maybe. Yeah, so you can add or remove the arrow extension, and then there are different versions. You can have it without the side skirt. You can have it in plastic, and then you can have it in painted as well. There are actually two versions of the painted one, but basically the exclusive painted, it's only for the XG, and the painted 2 is for the XG Plus. That was what I was told. And yeah, we come with the truck comes with a lot of different launch colors. So this is the main one. We're looking at Tuscan yellow. I think it's really beautiful. It really stands out. Jamaica blue is the same as the older Daf, so some people might love it because they're familiar with it, as well as the electric orange. And then silver is new. Flame red is new, I believe. And then the green is really outstanding as well. Maybe we can have a look at the green.
Oh wow, look at that.
Look at that. I think it looks better in the in the game world. Like in this scene, it doesn't look that sharp, but once you go outside, it's really outstanding.
And in terms of engine options as well, people are asking in the chat, do we have engine options?
Yep. So I believe the XG and XG Plus comes with engines from 450 horsepower and above. So basically the top end MX-11 and the two MX-13s. Yeah. And I think the truck also comes standard with the ZF Traxxon gearboxes. If you go to the transmission, so you have the ZF Traxxon as standard.
Wonderful. And actually, I know Daf actually did a lot of work and research into the production of those engines. I remember seeing the presentation about how much they've kind of tried to make them more clean and economical and such like that. And I'm not sure, Marie, do you have any information on the engines that are in these new XG and XG Plus models?
Oh yeah, we've definitely improved performance, especially let's say the performance, let's say in a lower RPM. Also with in combination with the engine brake. Really a redesign of the engines themselves. So the block itself, the injectors, really again optimizing performance and in the end also fuel efficiency, because that is with the whole design and as you mentioned in the beginning, the legislation where we've been really trying to push out the boat. with regards to efficiency, and in the end, all contributing to a greener future, as we see here, very green.
Very, very green.
Yeah, but not just the efficiency, really also pushing the boat out, as we've seen in the inside, on the comfort, but also on all the safety features.
Fantastic. No, it's great to see just how much research and work has gone into making those little improvements here and there on these brand new models. And was Oscar, I believe you said you were we're gonna move on to another part of the truck. Were you after that as well?
Yeah. Could we go back to the configurated? So if you click on the wheel arches at the front axle, so there are also options for the arrow extensions or without. You can see that tiny bit. Basically, what I was told, that if you have the arrow extensions on the side skirts, you'll have it also on the rear deflectors and also on the wheel arch. So they are all tied together, including the one beneath the front bumper. So we can look at that as well. If you click beneath the front bumper, okay, maybe not that. Yeah, this one. So you can have it or without it. So basically, you have an arrow package option or without.
Great.
We also have some other different, color options like black plastic. I don't think you'll see them on demo trucks, but that is what we have in the game. Also for the sun shield at the front on the top. Yeah. So I think the stock design is what is offered by Daf, but we also have a painted version of it. So maybe that's something that Daf can also implement. Right, and to go alongside the regular mirrors, we also have the regular front mirror. You can this one, so you can have the regular front mirror if you so wish. Yeah, I think that's basically most of the options that we've covered.
Can we also have a look now inside with the mirrors? Because I think that's also interesting to see, because you do see that the shape of the mirrors has been completely changed. So where the kind of the pillar that they're attached to is usually kind of towards the door, it's really the shape is completely redesigned. You still have, as you can see, a lot of room for view that you can see directly because of the completely redesign of the mirror shape. So all that space to kind of see right next to the corner of the truck.
That's really, really cool to see that kind of thought has even gone into that as well, just to kind of give you more vision as well as more safety as well for the driver when they're looking at those as well. Really fantastic to see from the interior there. Something I probably wouldn't have noticed until I've changed it for myself, but personally I'm looking forward to using the new digital camera mirrors, so I'm sure I'll be having those on my truck when I do purchase it for myself in game. So very, very excited to try that out for myself. But maybe you could, if you wouldn't mind, just walking us through, because we've got quite a few questions coming in on chat, the main differences between the XG and the XG Plus.
Well, I think let's say in terms of the new generation, we're pushing the boundary out in terms of the whole redesign of the cap. So that also holds for the XG. It's really making full advantage of the new legislation. I think primarily the difference is then, the XG and the XG Plus offer really that additional level of comfort for the driver and of working, living and relaxing space. Also in terms of, let's say, in real life, some of the features on the XG and XG Plus come standard. So whereas maybe the XF is more, as we know it now today, kind of the traditional the traditional fleet model, the new fleet model. Really, the XG Plus are the vehicles for those drivers and customers that really want that extra space and that extra comfort.
Which I imagine many drivers is very important, especially for those long haul jobs across countries and beyond, just always on the road. And especially now during this time more than ever, we're seeing how important logistics are in this time, especially when it was towards the start of the pandemic, when there was a worry of shortage, and there was really putting a lot of pressure on kind of getting cargo and logistics and food and stuff to other places. And so this is really coming in at a great time for drivers and logistic companies and everything to bring more comfort and safety to their drivers who are on the roads more so than ever, it seems like, in these days.
Definitely, and also I think also bearing in mind, for example, for those drivers that drive in pairs, especially in the XG and XG Plus. I mean, there's so much room in, let's say, in the vehicles, the real ones that are coming soon. For example, also the swivel-based seats that you can, rotate in the truck and kind of go from working driving mode to relaxing mode. That is definitely something that our range of XG and XG Plus is offering.
Very jealous, very jealous. Sounds like a really nice little feature. I think I remember seeing that actually in the presentation video where you could just kind of swivel it around to the side and just kind of be in complete relaxed mode, and you have all that kind of like leg space because of how large the interior is. It's really fantastic to see that, able to stretch their legs a little bit and kind of almost can't even touch the ceiling sort of thing, so they can kind of do some stretches around the cab if they wanted to, if it was a little bit cold outside,
Like I said, I have a driver at home, and when he saw all the material yesterday with the launch and the inside of the cab, he said it's bigger than the average student room that what he was used to when he was studying. It was bigger than my room.
I can believe that. I can definitely believe that. I've seen some very, very small uni accommodations and such like that. So I think they're well and truly being spoiled here in these brand new models for the future for drivers as well, which is really great to see, because obviously it just makes them more comfortable, a bit more relaxed, and just kind of puts them at ease, when they have all of this kind of available to them when they're driving, and just not having to worry about how they're going to sleep at night and such like that. Of course, that's such a big part of driving, getting the rest that you need in a comfortable space where you can feel safe, and all these different solutions with the camera mirrors and such offer that for drivers, which is really, really something else.
And also the entertainment in terms of as you can see all the flat surfaces where you can put your laptop on and maybe watch a movie and relax. The whole infotainment system that we have as an option with I must say, I think the speaker set in the XG Plus, what somebody can get even with a subwoofer, I think will be unparalleled to anything we've seen before.
And I think that in the video trailer for the launch, I think I saw that it actually worked with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, right, as well?
Yeah, wireless charging. So
wireless charging as well. Wow, that's cool.
All those little amenities that count. And of course, if you did want to take a closer look at the XG and XG Plus, you also have, again, we're going to go back to it, the virtual Daf experience. For any latecomers that didn't see it towards the start of the stream, Daf have this amazing virtual experience that anybody can go visit at startthefuture.com, and you can check out these trucks a little bit up closer for yourself. It's really easy to get to. Just head over to the domain there, startthefuture.com, and have a wander around all the different models of trucks that you can see from the current generation, the next generation that were released yesterday in the launch. It's very, very exciting to see, and you might even see a little bit of our Euro Truck Simulator 2 in there as well in the form of the video, which is very exciting. As you can see here, you can enter through these virtual doors and have a little walk around for yourself. There's lots to see. I imagine lots to learn about as well in terms of the history of DAF as well.
Yeah, true. Like I said in the beginning, no need to visit the museum anymore in Eindhoven. You can actually visit the museum in our virtual experience. Also, the current ultimate model, alternative solutions like the electric DAF. So really giving you, next to a wonderful showcase of our new generation, also the ability to really, see all that DAF is about.
And I'm not sure, Oscar, have you had a chance to kind of look around this space for yourself as well, or is this your first time seeing it?
No, I've seen it since the initial stage when it was being designed, and it had no trucks in it. So, it has come a long way, and it looks amazing. I think, everyone definitely has to, come visit this, especially the history museum kind of part of it. It's really fantastic. Maybe you'll see things that you've never known about DAF. So it's very educational as well. There's so much to explore, and I think I think there will be more to explore in the future.
Mm. Very exciting indeed. And in times like this, where unfortunately expos and such kind of absence from our calendars, unfortunately, this is really the next and greatest thing, from the comfort of your own home to kind of check out the DAF for yourself in this virtual experience. And Pavel, have you had a chance to have a little walk around this virtual experience as well? Or is this your first time?
I have seen images. Oscar sometimes just gives me a presentation of what's happening. To a large extent, it was all kind of secret, even to me, in a way. Not that I wouldn't, get the information if I insisted, but I was, just in a distance from this. I know that we have these plans together with Daf to, it's not a just we are showing this to give our partner a valuable spot here in the presentation. There's this plan to put a little extra that involves our technology into the presentation. Hopefully we'll be pulling it off later this year. So it's really exciting to see this coming to this stage where our industry partnerships manager Oscar is actually involved in providing maybe feedback, being in a dialogue with people constructing the virtual experience. And as we are so closely cooperating with the industry now, it's no longer that it's a dialogue now. It's no longer just that we are trying to replicate what we see out there. We are a part of it now. We are not alien anymore for the industry, and that's super exciting for me. It's 20 years in the making for us. Providing this platform ultimately for the industry to have a canvas to showcase their stuff. And we usually, when I was pitching our game to industry, I was using this argument. This may be a platform, a canvas for you to use to let the kids as well, the wannabe drivers, what you're up to, what's happening, to make the emotional connections. And here we are, showcasing this great, fabulous vehicle, and being at the forefront of everything. So that's great.
No, it's really, really exciting to see how far the company has come in terms of working with industry partners and the opportunities that are arising. And we're so excited to work so closely with Daf here on this exciting project. And again, a massive thank you to everybody who's been involved up until this point, and a massive congratulations as well, of course, to everybody at Daf for the launch yesterday, because it really did cause a bit of a stir on social media. I definitely saw it on our social media, because lots of our community were talking about it, posting screenshots from the presentation, getting hyped up for it. And Marie, I'm guessing you also watched it yesterday as well, live on the launch?
Oh yeah, well, we had the pleasure of watching it a few times. We also had the launch for our dealer network in the morning, then the press, and obviously the public in the afternoon, let's say, for us European time. So no, we've watched it multiple times, and I still get goosebumps every time I see the movie, and it's just a fantastic product. And great times to be at Daf.
And I imagine it was very exciting for the whole team. I imagine there was kind of almost a bit of pride when you were watching it, just to be a part of something, so exciting in terms of technology in the future.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's a wonderful time to be at Daf right now, to be a part of the team. Really, but just taking the full glory of something beautiful that so many colleagues have been working on for over the past, let's say, 6 or 7 years, and it's really now just my pleasure to sell it to our customers and to the drivers out there.
Well, I imagine they're very excited to check it out for yourself.
Yeah.
What was that, Oscar?
I think it'll sell itself. So
I believe
this new truck has made your job so much easier.
No, it's an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I had the money, I would be sold personally myself. I'd have one parked outside ready to go if I could. If I need to get my license as well, that'll probably be a big part of it. So, but yeah, no, very, very exciting indeed. And of course, everyone who's watching right now across the world, also very excited to get their hands on the DAF XG and XG Plus. Of course, we've been showing you all stream about this wonderful truck and the different options and technologies that it has as well. And it's great to see the hype in the chat for the future, as we're calling it, the future. Lots of people chanting DAF in the chat right now as well. You can see there some of our colleagues getting involved as well. It's great to have you all along. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. And we really hope that you've been enjoying seeing this showcase of this brand new truck within Euro Truck Simulator 2. As we said, there was a lot of hype surrounding it in terms of the teasers and everything. And our community is quick. I don't know, everyone. I'm sure everyone's very aware how quick everyone is to kind of grasp onto what's happening and figuring out and putting the pieces together. I'm always very, very impressed by everybody on our community in doing that. I feel like we need to come up with some harder teasers next time. Whatever there might be, we'll try our best to make it a little bit harder for any future things we might do together in terms of cooperation. Yeah, it's honestly been so wonderful to kind of have your insight on this and to take a look at the new DAF truck together. And well, what can I say? I'm very excited for everybody just to have a chance to drive it, really.
I would just like to mention that we are saying a new truck, but actually it's a family, right? From XG Plus, XG, XF. And it's also making our task difficult here, because it's not like you are building one vehicle, you are building multiple vehicles. You are creating not just the engineers at DAF, but our artists also and our testers have to work with so many combinations, with so many things that need to fit together smoothly. So ultimately, the task at hand was even more difficult than when we first learned, hey, there is this slight chance that we may get access to a new vehicle. It's not just one vehicle, it's a whole ecosystem that we need to portray in the game. So again, it was really not so easy task for the teams here, both for the designers as well as for ultimately getting it all thoroughly tested, and all the paint jobs that have to be adjusted for all the cabin variations. That all for us, it was a super hard job to pull off. I'm trying to keep my finger on the pulse in the company, watching the change logs all the time as the evolution of any project is moving forward. So you see so many commits, so many testing items, tickets going through the system, always shaking things down to better, to closer and closer to the final point. And this was really, really tough for the team, and they absolutely need to be congratulated, all of them, for making this possible. Because again, late last year when we learned about this, we had quite some doubts if this is like humanly possible to make this, because there were sacrifices to make, there were difficult choices to make. What comes next in the team's plans, but we managed to squeeze it into the plan without abrupting the production, without actually. Some people had to make some sacrifices, but mostly we still managed to do it in regular production hours. So really hats off to the team.
Absolutely. I think a big round of applause for everybody involved has to be given. And I can see Namiro here changing the time a little bit so we can check out these the exposure that we're talking about on the mirrors here, as we take a look at the adaptive exposure. And maybe Oscar, you had a little bit of insight on this. Maybe you could explain a little bit how it works, if you do have any sort of information on that.
I don't actually know how it works. It's just exposure correction. So when you have a darker scene, it boosts the exposure so that it's more visible. So I guess you can kind of see the outside that's much darker compared to what you can see through the screens. So I think that really helps, especially when you're driving at night, and maybe if you're trying to change lanes or something, and then you can see clearly the other cars that are coming up. So there is quite a huge difference.
Yeah, the visibility being quite an important part here when you're driving in the dark. And I imagine that was always kind of a bit of a worry for drivers when they think about their traditional kind of rear view mirrors being replaced by cameras. They're probably thinking of things like, oh, will the weather affect the vision of them, and little things like that. And I imagine maybe Miri, you have a little bit of insight on kind of some of the steps that DAF have taken to ensure that they always have great visibility with these camera mirrors at all time.
Well, definitely, because it's it's great if it works during daylight, but it should also have great vision at night times, or when the weather is poor. But how Daf has achieved it is really that kind of there's like a I don't know the technique in detail, but kind of a multi-layered approach in the cameras. So even during the day when the sun is out, it causes less fatigue to kind of watch the cameras, because that's some of the feedback some of the drivers have been given with, let's say, other solutions that are out there. They're kind of with this multi-layered approach, really in the displays, that it's for a driver, let's say, also still pleasant and good to look at after a day's drive.
Right, yeah, because I can imagine some people can be quite worried about the fact that they're maybe going to be staring at a screen all day.
Yeah.
Almost in fact, it's like almost like looking at a computer or like looking at their phone, if it could be a distraction. But it seems like it's far from that, offering the driver better angles and better views and more, safety as they drive. Because like we said, we've eradicated a majority of that blind spot with these cameras, which is just a huge advantage both to the driver and also to those around the driver as well, because obviously as you drive through cities and such, you have to deal with cyclists and pedestrians, and sometimes it can be very, very hard to spot them with those blind zones, and you do have to be extremely careful. So safety in mind here, I can see it's been a top priority.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And then also what we saw kind of when we looked to the other side, where we were kind of loading with the fish-eyed lens, the corner view, really taking out completely the blind spot. So really just, like you said, ensuring that any pedestrian or cyclist that's passing by is being seen, is getting noticed.
Absolutely, yeah, very, very important. And I imagine for our drivers in game as well, it will serve quite important, as some of our players might know that the drivers in game can also have a little bit of a mind of their own as well. So I imagine it will come to very handy as them as well when they're changing lanes or moving around the roads. I can imagine it can be actually quite realistic, actually, I would say personally. You get all sorts of drivers out on the road, so you have to always keep a good eye out for sure. So but it's great to see the way it's looking at night here with that adaptive exposure. And how's it feeling for you, Nimiro, as you're driving here at nighttime now in the Daf XG?
Amazing. I would just wish that one day when we will have cyclists in our game, for example, that I will be able to safely drive around them because of this like camera mirror. It's amazing.
Yeah, to kind of get those different angles and views as you're maneuvering as well. And I imagine it can also be very handy when you're actually delivering as well, when you're unloading cargo and maneuvering the trailer. That's something that's always been a challenge for our players as well, doing it from the first person view, as you can see here in cab. I imagine these cameras can also be very handy when it comes to that.
Definitely. Also real life, I don't know if you have the feature in the game, but for example, that also a driver can set kind of the length of the trailer. So when he's driving it kind of overtaking, that the mirrors will, let's say, in the rear trucks will also kind of indicate that it's safe to switch lanes again.
Oh, really? Wow, that's really, really
unfortunately,
cool.
we don't really. Yeah, we don't really support that yet. So maybe it's something we should definitely look into in the future, especially when that's digital mirrors are becoming the standard.
Absolutely. It's kind of exciting to see where it will go in the future in terms of digital mirrors, and maybe how augmented reality can also work on them as well. It's kind of almost in my head. I've also got like a few ideas of things that you could maybe see in the future in terms of guidance and such like that as well, to make the driver's job all that much easier as well. But I know this will probably become a favorite preference for quite a few players in our game, maybe even for those who do our parking challenge here on the streams, Nimiro, right? I think maybe it might be a good solution for you as well, maybe, right?
Don't bring this topic, please. Don't bring this topic today.
Nimiro has improved on his trailer parking for sure. So, but I feel like this will be a new favorite truck for you to get behind the wheel of, because it might things like a little bit easier, right, with the wide angle views there and such.
Absolutely looking forward to doing my parking challenge again with this truck.
Absolutely. I think we're definitely going to have to do it, and maybe Muri, because we're not very informed on what we do, we bring on people from our company and we interview them and we make them do a little parking challenge where they have to back up a trailer into a difficult spot in a certain, well, not in a certain time, but in whatever time they do it, and then we rank them from best to worst. And we're saying how these camera mirrors, they're going to serve probably a great purpose in the future for them, to make it a little bit easier for them, because they have a lot more angles to look at when they're reversing their trailer. And of course, having so many different types of trailers that we also offer in the game as well. I imagine even double and triple trailers as well could benefit from that, although they are much harder to back up. But yeah, Oscar, I know you're pretty good at using those as well, and kind of almost hold the favorite spot in how to back up double trailers and triple trailers, right?
Well, I haven't done the challenge yet, so maybe that's something on the list in the
future.
Yeah. You have to. But guys, I have just got the green light from Timmy, so I think you know what to do, right? The Timmy, the Daf Thief was already been in the chat.
Number one, the number one question that's been in the chat that we haven't been able to talk about yet. Lots of people asking from our community, when is this going to be released in Euro Truck Simulator 2? So many of you are so excited to get behind the wheel of the DAF XG and XG Plus in Euro Truck Simulator 2. We've shown you photos, we've teased you, we've shown you all of the features and talked about so many amazing things here on the stream today, and you're just like, when can I get behind it? Well, I guess maybe Pavel, you could have here the honor of maybe telling our community here when they might be able to do that.
I wish I knew. I mean, early this morning we still were figuring out some uncertainties about the launch. So just as I came to the studio, I wasn't yet aware of the latest. So I hear it from you. I hear that Timmy is giving us a signal that things are on a good path. So hopefully I can confirm that the truck is coming to the game today within a few short whiles. Basically, maybe possibly a mouse click away from being in the game, I imagine. So all the very difficult steps that we need to take over the past 5-6 months are coming to fruition, are coming to completion. All along the way, there were many obstacles to overcome, including today with some like technology obstacles to overcome. But it looks like we really did pull it off completely all the way through to making the vehicle available, and that's exciting because game development is always full of uncertainty. You always kind of pushing the envelope. You're always challenging yourself to make something that you are not sure is within your powers or within the time allotted. So I'm great to see that we made it all through the chain, all through the pipeline, all the way to actually launching the vehicle in this initial configuration to our players, and a little bit ahead of the actual vehicle coming to the customers out there in the real world.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Timmy has done magical things with Steam here and has released the DAF XG and XG Plus to Euro Truck Simulator 2. So it is available to drive right now, actually. So not even just in a few clicks, it is available right now. You should have an update pushed to your games for Euro Truck Simulator 2, and it's a free edition for everybody. You can also check out the Steam store page, which is currently being spammed by our wonderful colleagues in the chats on YouTube and on Twitch. And we can check out some really awesome content there and more info.
I can maybe even like pull out here for a few seconds, and if I would give a signal to Philip, I think that we as well might take a look on our own video trailer. Philip, please, are you ready? Can you hide our cameras and everything of the display, and let's play the official Euro Truck Simulator 2 video trailer for the DAF XG and XG Plus for the first time?
Let's do it. So awesome. There we have it, folks. The DAF XG and XG Plus. That was the official trailer there, which you can go watch again and again over on the Steam store page, and you can drive the truck for yourself in Euro Truck Simulator 2. I do have some information very quickly coming over from Timmy. If you haven't received the update, you may need to restart Steam first just to receive that update, because the cache apps data for a few minutes, and also that it will be arriving in the experimental beta for 1.41 tomorrow. So if you don't see it there, that's the reason why. But if you have the update, we highly recommend going and checking it out for yourself. Now is the opportunity to get behind the wheel of the brand new DAF XG and XG Plus. The future starts here on Euro Truck Simulator 2, and we couldn't be more excited. And of course, we would love to see you share your photos with not only us at SCS Software, but also with DAF Trucks as well across social media using the hashtag which you see in the bottom left of the screen here, hashtag #StartTheFuture. We would love to see all of your photos of your first journeys with the DAF XG and XG Plus and how you are enjoying the drive. So make sure to share those with us. And wow, we can't wait for you to see or to experience what it's going to be like behind the wheel with all this amazing technology and options built with the driver in mind. We're very, very excited to have the DAF XG and XG Plus in game. It's very, very exciting, and massive congratulations to everyone here at SCS Software and also to DAF as well. Thank you so much as well for working so hard with us as well and providing so much to bring this into the game. And it's very, very exciting for all of us to finally be able to reach this moment, as Pavel was explaining just a few moments ago. And of course, we have to thank Marie here as well. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here on the stream today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to come along to the offices here and share your insights. It's been so wonderful just to kind of hear all the information and to learn not only about what you do, but also more about this this new DAF line as well that's been launched.
Thank you so much for having me. Thoroughly enjoyed being here, kind of being part of history being made together. So thank you so much. I'm sure everybody will absolutely love the truck simulator. I hope they'll check out our virtual experience and the Augmented Reality app as well. And of course, I must mention as a sales manager that if you want to drive the real deal, then visit your local DAF dealer.
Hey, there we go. Nice tagline on the end there as well. And also a massive thank you to both Nimiro and Pavel Chabot as well for joining us in the studio today and taking your time out to be here with us for this very exciting day as well. And it's been a real pleasure. Is there anything that you'd like to say, first of all, Nimiro, to the community, and then Pavel afterwards?
I can even maybe share that when you were talking about that we would love to see some screenshots or short clips of the new truck under the special Start the Future hashtag. I can even share that DAF was so kind to provide us with a few models of the new XG Plus truck with the trailer, and that we will be able to randomly pick a few lucky winners and reward them for their screenshots or content posted under the special hashtag that you just talked about.
Awesome. So make sure to post those photos and videos for sure on our social media. Make sure to tag us and DAF Trucks as well with the hashtag Start the Future, and you could get yourself some DAF swag, which sounds fantastic as well. And Pavel as well, maybe we can just get your initial thoughts here as well for the community before we head off here on the stream.
Okay, well, for me, like from management's point of view, this is another completed project. It's a sigh of relief. Okay, we made it again. There's way more in the pipeline. The company is humming. We are finally looking forward to making it back to the offices. Hopefully next month we'll be switching from the work from home regime, and this gives us yet more, hope for being more kind of productive, more organized, more reactive to what's happening. So this is just another step, an important step. It's one stage of cooperation with DAF. We are looking forward to doing more together. We have some bold plans together for pulling off later this year. Hopefully all of the pieces will fit together ultimately as well. So great stuff is happening, and great stuff will be happening for all the players out there, for all the members of the best community ever, that we are always enjoying being a part of this great day, and great time to start the game again, restart the Steam client if need be, but launch it again and take a look at the beauty of this new beast in the game.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. Very, very exciting indeed. Thank you, Pavel, again for being here as well this evening. And of course, as well, Oscar as well. It's been a pleasure having you coming to us live all the way from Singapore. I imagine getting quite late there again in the early morning hours for you. So thank you for staying up quite late and for joining us and sharing your insights into the development and the process of the DAF XG here as well. Is there any final few words that you'd like to say before we head off here?
Yeah, this has been an absolutely lovely cooperation. We really, look forward to, finishing up the entire range of the XF by the end of this year, I hope. And yeah, we look forward to more future cooperation with DAF and the wider industry as a whole. So I think things are looking great for our games, and our players can look forward to much more in the future.
Very, very exciting indeed. Can't wait to find out what more we have in store. We can't wait to share it with all of you, of course, our community. Thank you so much, everybody, wherever you are in this wonderful world, for tuning in and for supporting us as well up until this moment. And we appreciate you all. So thank you so much. And we hope you enjoyed the stream. We can't wait to bring you more exciting content in the future. And we thank you all for just being here with us and supporting this exciting launch as well. We're ready to start the future with you. So make sure again to share your photos across social media. We'd love to see them. And we can't wait for you to get onto the roads in Euro Truck Simulator 2. The brand new DAF XG and XG Plus is now available to drive in Euro Truck Simulator 2. So get out there and enjoy it. There's no time to waste. Get on the roads and enjoy how this brand new truck feels on the roads. So from all of us here at SCS Software, it's been an absolute pleasure. And again, a thank you to all of our guests here in the studio. We hope you have yourselves a wonderful rest of your days. And we'll see you all again very soon. And well, take care, everybody. And we'll see you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.